Hello, and welcome to COSYlanguages. My name is James. I'm the founder of that language learning project and a teacher as well. And today I would like to show you the way I personally used our method of learning languages for learning Hellenica or Greek. So today I focused on day 1, or as in Greek we say on imera 1.1. And from that point over here, I already noticed that imera, it is article the. And I decided to check just out of interest, because when we learn languages, we check a lot of things, and especially if we are language teachers or linguists or somehow related to languages, we have this habit of checking things on the internet. Sorry, I don't understand what is happening with my hair. But yeah, so I decided to check on the internet whether we have genders in Greek or Hellenica, and we actually do. So as in German and in Russian, we have 3 genders. By the way, I'm not really sure about Armenian yet. I'm going to make a video on how I learned Armenian using this method once I'm going to feel comfortable with Armenian alphabet. Anyways, back to the topic. So Hellenica, Greek, as Russian and German, has 3 genders: feminine, masculine, and neuter, which of course makes it a bit difficult in comparison where we have only 2 genders in Romance languages such as Italian, French, and Spanish, and in comparison with English, where we actually, so to say, do not really have this difference between feminine and masculine. For instance, in English we say table. Table, it is just inanimate. Whereas we say une table, table. So in French, table, it is feminine. And in Russian, for example, stol on moi, it is masculine. So you see, and this is a very interesting feature. So 3 genders, it is a bit more difficult, but we love challenges. Okay, I love personal challenges. Now, what did I do throughout day or imera 1.1? At the very beginning, I went on Quizlet and started to work with flashcards. So what is interesting with flashcards, I would like to highlight, is that you immediately start to learn a language without using your mother language, so to say. So in imera 1.1, you do not have translation into your mother language, but you learn opposites, so to say. For instance, you have the word hello, you match it with the word goodbye. As in Greek or Hellenica, you say yasu or ya and andio, goodbye. Or same with yes and no, you say what do you say? Ne, and you say ohi. So you match them. Of course, if you want and if you feel that this way is a bit too difficult for you, of course you can use translations. We do not restrict you from using translation, but still, at least to have some kind of a challenge. The thing about Greek, Hellenica, is that it has a different alphabet. I've been thinking for quite a time whether I should provide Latinized text for further lessons in Greek and in Russian and in Armenian. And I've decided that actually, why should I do this? So, of course, if you have a purpose to learn language for traveling purposes, sorry for dumb repetition, so then yeah, perhaps you don't really need to learn the alphabet. Even though you are going to travel to the country, you are going to see for example, the Greek text, how you are going to deal with it. So I personally believe that the alphabet is important if you learn a language still. But it's solely my opinion. So coming back again to the topic about the alphabet. So I've decided to provide or to include into flashcards collection also the letters, if it is another alphabet. So for instance, in Greek, in imera 1.1, I include not only the words, but I also include the letters that build the words that we learn. So for example, we learn the word ne, which is yes in Hellenica. And I include all the letters. I include the letter ni or nu, alpha, and iota. So I include all of them. And this way you can practice them too throughout Imera 1.1. While you go to Imera 1.2, there I do not really provide, even though I think for day 1, I think I'm going to provide, perhaps it can be a good idea to provide Latinized text. I'm going to include it, so do not worry. But for Imera 2 and 2.1 and so on and so forth, I am not going to include it. A bit of a challenge, but of course, again, if you need, you can. It's up to you. Anyways, so yeah, I've dealt with flashcards. What do I do next? Then I go on YouTube and I deal with a song. So over here you have two options. You can immediately go to the dialogue 1.1, or you can go to the song of basic words that we also provide. Why did I go to the song? Because, when we listen to songs, we rest in some ways, even though at the same time we also learn a language. So the song, it is a good case for some kind of a revision and relaxing, so to say. The song is unbelievably cool, I personally believe, even though you can hear the robotic voice, but still it is a cool one. So you can listen, you can pause and repeat, or you can listen, for example, the first line, and almost for each and every line you are going to have the back vocals, so to say, so you are able to repeat too. And overall, the verses, they are repeated 2 times or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. So you can repeat everything, and it is going to be your song number 1 when you start the day. So you wake up, you do your morning exercises, and listen to that song and sing at the same time. So after that, I go immediately to the dialogue 1. Very basic, I would say, dialogue where a person tries to order coffee or tea and to pay by card or with cash. In cash. By card, but in cash. Yeah, I hate these prepositions. But it is a very, very basic one. So it even might look wrong for some people in the case of we do not include a lot of grammar, we do not include prepositions and so on and so forth. So it is a very, very basic vocabulary without any prepositions. Of course, afterwards you are going to learn the prepositions, for example, by card, but in cash, and so on and so forth. But for Imera 1.1, you do not have it. So when you listen to the dialogue, how you can practice this dialogue? Well, you can listen. Afterwards, you can, because it is a dialogue, so it means that there are, so to say, 2 people. And after all, you can take a place of a client and you can listen to the dialogue. When a waiter says something, you pause before the client says something, you read, or if you are feeling already a bit too comfortable, you can say whatever you want to say, because this dialogue is created for such purpose that you are able to say whatever you want to say, and you are able to respond to every line of a waiter or to every line of a client. So you practice this way. You stop, you say, you play, you listen, you stop, you say, you play, you listen, you stop, you say, you play, you listen, etc. And then, once you are feeling comfortable with Imera 1.2, you go to Imera 1. No, when you're feeling comfortable with Imera 1.1, you go to Imera 1.2. For me, it is going to be tomorrow, because I've dealt with the alphabet, and it was so difficult, even though Greek alphabet is not very difficult, in the sense of, if you know Latin alphabet, well, there are a lot of letters that are also part of Greek alphabet, or if you know Russian alphabet, there are also letters that are part of the Greek alphabet. So do not worry about this one. The hardest part is yet to come. Otherwise, this is how I personally used our method of learning languages. And I'm going to see you tomorrow for Imera 1.2.